Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to the BNS channel. So today's video is a little bit different. It's more on the personal side, with a little bit of a plug, obviously, because of the picture you're seeing right now. But I'm going to show you how I tie-dyed my convention t-shirt. We're going to be going to our Scentsy Family Reunion in July, at the beginning of July, and we all received one of these awesome t-shirts, and I figured I would make it even awesomer by tie-dyeing it. So let me show you how I did it. So basically just take a cotton shirt like this one. It's got to be white. Granted, there is some printing on the front, but you'll see how it kind of blended in, and it looks good. So what you do is you pinch the center right about here, right in the middle where the logo is, probably around where the eye is, and you actually start spinning. So you pull up, pinch, and keep spinning until the shirt becomes a donut, like this one. So you see right in the center is where I pulled up on the logo, and then I just kind of spun it around, and it made a donut like this. Then what you want to do is you want to take the elastics, and you want to secure the donut and the t-shirt so that it stays compact and in place. And it kind of helps with the dyeing process as well. So just, put some random elastics on there just to hold it in place. And this is what it looks like from the bottom, from the underneath. And like I said, you're just tucking everything in so that you don't have any loose ends. Keeps it kind of uniform. And then you start applying the dye. I used RIT dye, and the RIT dye states that depending on how strong you want the color, it is dependent on how much of the package you use. So definitely read the instructions for your dye and follow the instructions for your specific dye. I added a little bit of salt to my dye mixture so that it would hold the vibrant color longer in my shirt. And then I used the dye and applied it to the shirt. So this is just one side, but you'll notice that what I did is I used the pie effect. So in other words, each of those quadrants is where I added color. And of course it did bleed into some of the other parts, but it just kind of adds to the uniqueness of the shirt. So, and I'll be very honest with you, a squeeze bottle is going to give you a little bit more or less splatter when you go to apply the color. So if you want to use a squirt bottle, that's even better. I did not have a squirt bottle, and I'll be very honest with you, I ended up using a turkey baster. And anybody that knows me, if you've watched some of my other videos, that doesn't surprise you. But it worked really well. I controlled the flow of the dye with my finger and was able to apply it to each of the sections. So that's the top part, and this is what the bottom looked like before I applied the rest of the dye that I wanted to add. I really wanted a little bit more white to the t-shirt. You'll see here in a second what it actually looked like after all the dye was applied. And once the dye is all applied and you're happy with what it looks like, you want to add it to a Ziploc bag so that it can seal in the color and let the color set into the t-shirt. So you'll notice that it's pretty saturated. When I first got to this point, I was pretty scared that there wasn't going to be a lot of white and it was going to be a really, really, really dark color, because I only used two colors. I used purple and teal. But I have to tell you, once you see the results, I was pleasantly surprised, because when it's wet, it gets really, really dark anyway. So this is twice the amount of color that it looks like I have than I actually have. So leave it in this Ziploc bag for at least 6 to 8 hours to set in, if not overnight. If you're like me and you're impatient, you didn't wait past the 8 hours and you took it out and started doing the rest of it. So leave that in for 6 to 8 hours. And then you want to, what I did is I soaked the donut in cold water for an hour or two, just to kind of let some of the extra dye come off of it and seep into the water so that I could drain it away, and so that I wouldn't ruin my washing machine. So that was about an hour or two in cold water. Then I did 2 cycles in the washer, with cold water, no soap, just cold water. I washed it twice. Then I went ahead and I put it in the dryer for the amount of time that it needed to dry. Putting it in the dryer actually sets the color so that it no longer runs. And yeah, that was probably, I don't know, it depends on your dryer, but mine took about 30 minutes, I think. And then, ta-da! This is the finished product. We have a swirl that comes out from the center and goes all the way through the t-shirt. I think it looks amazing. I, again, wish that there might have been a little bit more white. It didn't turn out to be white as in more bleeding, which is okay, but it's just because of the way that I did it. And the turkey baster does not give you a lot of flow restriction, so that's why I got a lot of color, and that's okay because I really like it. But see how the colors blended into the word drive and into the logo? I was pretty happy about that. So here's another look at what it looks like. Actually, this particular one was right before it went into the dryer. So I think it's still wet. Here's what the back looks like. You got a nice little spiral going on. And the finished product after it was washed and dried, I did not iron it, so it's still very wrinkled. But I'm very pleased with the results, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, that you learned how to do a tie-dye with a spiral center. I'm no professional, so I just showed you what I did, and hopefully it was helpful for you. And if you do any projects like this, I would love for you to share it with me and let us see what your finished product looks like. All right, guys, thanks for joining me here at the BNS channel again. And again, my name is EdieAnne. I'll see you on the next video. Bye now.